a category on Jeopardy, but also something bigger than that. Because behind every clue is not just a show title, but a memory, a couch, a living room, a time when families sat together and watched the same screen. The board appears. Family TV for $200. Stella doesn't hesitate. She leans forward, confident. Who are the Targaryens? Correct? The response feels quick, almost automatic, but it carries weight. Because the Targaryens are not just a fictional family. They're a symbol of power, legacy, and conflict. Dragons and destiny. Love and loss passed down through generations. You can almost hear the approval ripple through the audience. And just like that, the category is alive. Harvey takes a breath. What's Party of Five? That's right. A show about grief, responsibility, and growing up too fast. A family formed not by choice, but by circumstance. The kind of story that quietly stayed with viewers long after the credits rolled. For a second, the game slows down. Not because of the rules, but because of memories. Then the board lights up again. Family TV for $1,200. These are the Crawleys. Violet Crawley. A name that carries elegance, tradition, sharp wit wrapped in politeness. The Crawley family represents something timeless. Old houses, old rules, and the slow clash between tradition and change. You don't just watch them, you observe them. The rhythm of the game is steady now. Question, answer, confirmation. A family that stands proudly outside a norm. Who is Morticia Addams? Yes, the Addams family isn't about fitting in. It's about embracing exactly who you are. Loving your family fiercely even when the world doesn't understand you. The audience smiles. Because everyone knows them. And then the lowest value on the board. Family TV for $400. Ian, who is Bryan Cranston? Right. Comedy. Drama. Transformation. A reminder that family television doesn't stay in one lane. It evolves just like the characters and the viewers who grow alongside them. The board is nearly clear now. Because this wasn't just a category. Families of all kinds. Royal dynasties. Siblings surviving together. Aristocrats navigating change. Outsiders owning their identity. Fathers, mothers, children, and everything in between. And for a brief stretch of time, they all shared the same stage. Then the host smiles. Hey, thanks for watching. A simple line, but it carries the warmth of an invitation. Because the game may end, but the stories don't. What makes a television family truly unforgettable? It's not just the brilliant writing or the powerful performances. It's that feeling that for a little while they actually lived with you, right in your own home. This is why the category of family TV resonates so deeply with us. Each clue might be short, but behind it lies years of storytelling, character development, and our own emotional investment. Let's take the Targaryens from House of the Dragon. They aren't just rulers in some far-off fantasy world. They are siblings, parents, and children, all bound together by blood, ambition, and a whole lot of drama. Their family story unfolds through epic loyalty and heart-wrenching betrayal, through fire and through fear. That's the sheer power of family on television. It was all about those quiet moments after the chaos, about siblings forced to become adults long before they were ready. That's why a clue about them hits you right in the feels. It's not just trivia, it's a shared memory. The Crawleys of Downton Abbey represent a completely different side of family life. Here, a family is shaped by history itself. Think of those grand halls, the formal dinners, and all the rules, both spoken and unspoken. She reminds us all that age doesn't bring weakness, it brings a fierce clarity. And of course, we can't forget the Addams family. That's why audiences react so instantly to them. That family never once pretended to be anything other than themselves. His presence acts as a bridge, connecting the traditional family sitcom with the complex prestige dramas of today. Each of these clues might seem simple on its own, but together, they tell a much larger story about us. Television families are a mirror, reflecting the times they were created in. They show what audiences worried about, what they hoped for, what made them laugh, and what they were afraid of losing. That's why a category like this works so well. It isn't just about what you know, it's about the culture we all share. So, as the final answer is revealed and the board is cleared, there's this quiet sense of completion. Not just because the game is over, but because the journey through these memories feels whole. The stories of these families mattered, and they still do. They remind us of the connections that define us, both on screen and off. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. There's something incredibly comforting about seeing those familiar names pop up on the Jeopardy board, isn't there? It feels like a little nod of recognition, not just for knowing a fact, but for sharing an experience. When a contestant buzzes in, they're not just pulling out a piece of trivia. They're recalling moments. They're remembering specific scenes, classic lines of dialogue, or even just the feeling of sinking into the couch to watch an episode after a long day. That's the real reason a category like family TV works so well. It beautifully bridges the gap between intense competition and a genuine, heartfelt connection with the audience. The format of Jeopardy is famous for its precision. Everything is on the clock. Everything is meticulously measured. But the content itself, that's where the emotion lies, even when it's subtle. Think about it. Each family represented on that board carries its own unique energy. The Targaryens, they bring sheer intensity and epic scale. Their story is loud, dramatic, and completely unforgettable. You don't just forget a name like Targaryen once you've heard it. Then you have the Salingers from Party of Five. They bring a touching vulnerability. Their story unfolds quietly, reminding us that family can be incredibly fragile, but it's always worth fighting for. Next, you have the Crawleys from Downton Abbey. They represent tradition, heritage, and the weight of history. They remind us of where we came from and how incredibly difficult change can be, even when it's absolutely necessary. On the complete other end of the spectrum, there's the Addams family. They bring a powerful sense of confidence. They read a testament to the idea that love and family don't need anyone else's approval to be valid. And then you have a clue about Bryan Cranston, which represents evolution. It's a brilliant reminder that family stories aren't static. They grow, they shift, and sometimes they challenge us in ways we never saw coming. What's truly striking is how fast each clue triggers that spark of recognition. No long, drawn out explanations are needed. No extra context is required. Just the names alone are enough. That right bears the true sign of deep cultural impact. And right in the middle of it all, you have the contestants Stella, Harvey, and Ian. They're completely focused, on high alert, ready to buzz in within a fraction of a second. Every time a name is called, you can feel that small moment of intense pressure. The bright lights, the hushed silence, the risk of getting it wrong. But then, when the answer is right, you see the relief wash over them. A slight nod, a quiet confirmation. That's right. Two simple words that carry so much relief and reward. As the category wraps up, there's no dramatic pause or grand finale. It's just a smooth, seamless transition to the next clue. Because on Jeopardy, the game must always move forward. But for us, the audience, that moment lingers a little longer. Because somewhere out there, someone is remembering watching Party of Five for the very first time. Someone else is fondly recalling when they discovered the quirky charm of the Addams Family. And another person is remembering the first time they were completely drawn into the lavish world of the Crawleys. That's the quiet magic of a category like this. It's a powerful reminder that television isn't just entertainment, it's memory. It's a shared history we all carry with us. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. When a host looks you right in the eye and says, "Hey, thanks for watching," it cuts through the noise, doesn't it? It feels real, not like a big showy performance, but like a genuine thank you. And by that point, you've earned it. You've been on the journey with them, traveling from fantastical kingdoms to the familiar chaos of a modern family home. You've witnessed the weight of inherited power and the strength of chosen resilience. You've seen old traditions give way to powerful transformation. So when that reminder to subscribe pops up, it's not just some marketing tactic. It feels more like an invitation to stay a while, to keep the conversation going, to keep watching, and just as importantly, to keep remembering. That's a crucial part of the magic because these television families, they don't just vanish when the credits roll. They stick with us. They become a part of our own story, shaping how we think about loyalty, how we define family, and who we want to be. Take a category like family TV on a game show. It's brilliant in its simplicity. It doesn't spell everything out. Instead, it drops hints, trusting that you, the audience, will connect the dots. It trusts your memory, your experiences. And that trust pays off beautifully. Viewers are instantly engaged, leaning in, trying to solve the puzzle. The contestants are on their toes, the game moves quickly, and everything just flows. There's no need for flashy graphics or over-the-top drama. That's precisely why a moment like this resonates so deeply. It's a nod to your intelligence, a recognition of your emotional investment in these stories, as the category title fades from the screen. There's a lingering feeling that something significant just happened, even if it only lasted for a few minutes of airtime. It's a perfect example of how the simplest, most understated moments can often carry the most profound weight. Think about the iconic families that have graced our screens. From the Starks in Game of Thrones to the Pearsons in This Is Us. Each one offers a unique lens through which we can examine our own lives. It was a sprawling epic about legacy, duty, and the brutal politics of family power. Every decision a character made rippled through generations, forcing us to ask what we owe to our lineage and what we are willing to sacrifice for our own. The Starks, with their code of honor, represented a stark contrast pun intended to the cunning Lannisters, creating a complex tapestry of family dynamics that felt both epic and deeply personal. Then you have a show like This Is Us, which takes a completely different approach. It strips away the fantasy and focuses on the raw, unfiltered reality of a modern American family. Through its clever use of timelines, we see the Pearsons navigate love, loss, and the everyday struggles that bind them together. It's a masterclass in emotional storytelling, showing us that the biggest battles are often fought within our own hearts and homes. The show's power lies in its relatability. We see our own parents, siblings, and children in the Pearsons' triumphs and heartaches. And let's not forget animated families, which often sneak in some of the most profound truths. The Simpsons has been a cultural touchstone for decades, using humor to satirize family life while reinforcing the unconditional love at its core. More recently, Bluey has captured the hearts of parents and children alike by portraying a family that genuinely enjoys spending time together, modeling patience, creativity, and empathy in a way that feels both aspirational and achievable. These shows prove that family stories can be told in any genre, any format, and still strike a universal chord. They become part of our collective consciousness, giving us a common language to talk about the things that matter most. So the next time you find yourself getting a little emotional over a fictional family or feeling a sense of connection to a host on a screen, embrace it. It's not just entertainment. It's a shared human experience. These stories enrich our lives, expand our understanding of the world, and remind us of the enduring power of family in all its messy, beautiful forms. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane, make sure you're subscribed so we can keep exploring more stories together. Have you ever noticed how some TV shows just stick with you? We've been playing this little game in our house, a sort of TV family trivia, and it's been surprisingly revealing. It's not just about who gets the most points. It's about the feeling that washes over you when you hear a name. Say The Sopranos, and you're instantly in that New Jersey world of complex loyalties and Sunday dinners. Suddenly, you're snapping your fingers, embracing the wonderfully weird. They transport us back to a specific time, a specific feeling. For some, it's the comfort and safety of a classic sitcom family like the Bradys or the Connors. We can have shows about warring kingdoms like the Targaryens in House of the Dragon. The story resonated so deeply because it showed that it's never too late to find your way back to each other. It's the unit we're born into or the one we choose. Real. We It's that instant recognition, that immediate flood of feeling safety. Curiosity, inspiration, or just pure entertainment. Across decades and genres, from The Simpsons to Modern Family to Stranger Things. It's about realizing that long after the credits roll and the final clue is revealed, these families stay with us. They become a part of our own story, a shared cultural language that connects us all. Because no matter who we are or where we come from, we all understand the power and the importance of family. What TV family has stuck with you the most? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane, be sure to subscribe for more. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about something that might seem a little old-fashioned in our age of streaming and on-demand everything. I want to talk about appointment television. Specifically, I want to talk about Jeopardy. For millions of us, the iconic theme song is more than just a jingle. It's a signal. It's the sound of dinner settling, of homework being put away, of the family gathering in the living room. It's a nightly ritual, a small but significant tradition that has woven itself into the fabric of our lives for decades. Think about it. How many things in our fast-paced world have that kind of staying power? Jeopardy isn't just a game show. It's a shared cultural touchstone. It's the one show that kids, parents, and grandparents can all watch together and genuinely enjoy. Each person brings their own area of expertise to the table. Maybe your dad knows all the world capitals. Your grandma remembers every classic movie star. It's a low-stakes competition that happens on the couch. You shout answers at the screen, you groan when a contestant misses an easy one. You feel a surge of pride when you nail a final Jeopardy that stumps all three players. These aren't just passive viewing experiences. They're interactive, they're engaging, they make you feel smart, and that's the real magic, isn't it? The show celebrates intelligence in a way that's accessible and fun. It makes knowledge cool. It reminds us that there's value in knowing things, whether it's about Shakespeare, quantum physics, or the history of rock and roll. It sparks curiosity. How many times have you watched a category and thought, I should really learn more about that? That's Jeopardy, planting a seed. The hosts have been our guides through this journey. For so many, Alex Trebek was a nightly presence in our homes. He was the calm, steady hand at the helm, a figure of warmth, wit, and intellectual authority. He wasn't just a host. He felt like a part of the family. His legacy is immeasurable. And the transition to new hosts has only highlighted the deep connection viewers have with the show and the people who bring it to life. But the heart and soul of Jeopardy are the contestants. We root for them. We get invested in their stories. We feel the tension as the wagers are revealed. We celebrate their victories and share in their defeats. The streaks are what turn a great contestant into a legend. Think about Ken Jennings, James Holzhauer, Amy Schneider, Matt Amodio. These weren't just winning streaks. They were cultural events. They had everyone talking. Suddenly, everyone was an expert on game theory and wagering strategies. These runs create a narrative, a story we can all follow together day after day. They build a sense of community around the show. Even after the cameras stop rolling, the impact continues. The board clears, the moment ends. But the impact remains. Family TV and Jeopardy. It creates a shared language that can bridge generations. Whether you're debating a correct response or remembering a favorite contestant, you're connecting. For those few minutes every evening, all of that comes into focus. It's more than just trivia. It's about the memories we create, the conversations we start, and the simple joy of sharing an experience with the people we care about. In a world that often feels divided, Jeopardy is a little slice of common ground, a place where we can all come together and celebrate knowledge. What are your favorite Jeopardy memories? Do you have a family tradition around the show? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to read your stories. Thanks for watching, and don't miss what comes next. See you in the next video.